teams approach the field, we'll get ready here. Number 10, Sydney Lynch versus number 20, Taylor Clark in the face-off circle.
And we'll have to see how this plays out, Harry. The draw is obviously a really important part of the lacrosse game. It helps determine the flow of possession, and certainly if you get control after every draw, you're going to have a bountiful supply of offensive opportunities. So I had a chance to get here a little bit early and watch the tail end of the JV game. It ended in a 6-6 tie, quite an exciting game as Bedford tied it late. Souhegan had the opportunity to score on an 8-meter, and the goalie for the Bedford Bulldogs came up big to preserve the tie. I'm anticipating a similar tight game here with the varsity game as Julian Bell controls the draw.
Right up, it kind of like they just went right to her.
Yep. Nice job fielding that loose ball and bringing it down to the offensive side of the field.
Bulldogs are in control now. Lynch flips it over to McCarthy. Moving in now, trying to find a seam. Does, loses the ball in the process and gets a whistle.
So that'll be an 8-meter shot. Check went through the sphere. So the stick went very close to her head, and she'll earn the free position 8-meter, which is effectively in a girls lacrosse game, a one-on-one with the goalie. We'll see if Hannah can capitalize here.
And she does.
2 or 3 steps in, and she goes low left and is able to beat the goalie, Alex Labrosse, for a 1-goal Bedford lead, 1-0 with 24 minutes left in the first half. So quick start for the Bulldogs there.
And McCarthy showing her prowess, drawing the defenders to her and drawing a foul in that fan.
Yeah, she started her dodge from the top right of the goalie, made a stutter step, had a quick step to get past the defender and drew the foul like you mentioned.
And Sydney Lynch had the ball momentarily and she was hit, loses possession, but I believe they're going to return possession to Bedford, and they do.
And she'll self-start in the midfield.
She flips it over to McCarthy along the sideline. Down low to Chu, back to McCarthy, now Chu again. Number 5, Julian Bell. Sydney Lynch at number 10. Bulldogs setting up here. Past Mccarran. She's dodging, loses it momentarily, picks it up, picks it right back up, gets it over to Lynch. Lynch changing direction, now gets it over to Bell. Pass inside over to McCarthy. She couldn't pick it up, but picks up the loose ball behind the extended goal line. And she has control of it. Tries to come up, fought it off by Eva Stein. Shot and a goal.
Nice roll to the outside there. Hannah McCarthy got stoned on the inside roll. Eva Stein made a nice play to prevent that inside roll, but McCarthy got top side and was able to finish for a second goal in the afternoon.
So an unassisted goal by McCarthy. Just adding to her total. Do you recall what the total was at the end of the Portsmouth game? Was it 342?
I didn't catch the exact number. I thought it was 343. And again, Hannah, during the last game on Monday against Portsmouth, became the New Hampshire all-time leading goal scorer for Division I girls lacrosse. So quite an accomplishment for her. It was fun to be able to call that game. She scored 6 on the day, and it was quite a performance.
Ball's up in the air now on the turf, and it's picked up by Mccarran. 3 straight wins there for Bedford off the face-off. Mccarran surrounded by 3 Sabres, loses it momentarily, picks it up, now evades check. Driving in and now pulling back to set up the Bulldog offense. Bell over to her sister Chamberlain Bell. Mccarran to Lynch. Lynch now drifting toward goal. A pass inside meant for Mccarthy too far, and it's picked up by the goalkeeper.
Alex LaBrosse, she did a nice job of holding her own, watching the ball into her stick, and she outlets for Souhegan to get into the midfield for transition.
Now the Sabres carrying it into the Bedford zone, and a whistle for a check. And they'll restart.
Nice job by Molly Driscoll, the defender. She was able to leg it out through midfield and get it into the offensive zone to settle it down for Souhegan. They've been on defense the entire first part of this game, so we'll see if they can mount any kind of answer here.
That's Taylor Clark right now. Evades the defender, but runs into a wall of Bedford defenders, loses the ball. Rolling free, let's see, we'll get to it first.
It's great hustle.
Ben.
Great hustle by Zoe Misho. She made a nice check on the ball, got the ball out and moving, and almost chased down the ground ball, but Souhegan was able to corral it.
Clark gets it over to Hannah Rowe. She flips it out to Gallinson O'Neill. Now behind X, it's Savannah Ben. O'Rourke wheeling around. Actually, that was Woodward. And a shot and a goal right there.
Abigail Hawks on the cut, caught the ball, was able to turn and fire offside on Hannah Paradise for Souhegan's first goal in the afternoon.
So the Sabres cut the lead in half, 2-1.
Souhegan goal by number 10, Abby Hawks.
Abigail Hawks.
Number 15, Claire Woodford.
And Claire Woodford with the assist right there. So at the 20:57 mark of the first half, it's now 2-1 Bedford.
Yeah, Harry Hawks made a nice cut around from the backside of the cage and was able to receive that pass in stride, took another two to get a better angle and fired it offside on Paradise. So it was a good finish for Hawks.
So Hawks right there against Lynch on the face-off. Ball goes out, went off the Bedford player. They're going to give the possession to the Sabres. And on the restart, Hawks carries it into the Bedford zone. Still with it. Runs into Grace Ann Rooney. Grace Ann had her stick up in the air. I think this is going to be an 8-meter for the Sabres.
Yeah, a little too aggressive on that push there with Grace Ann Rooney. She accepted that strong charge from Hawks and unfortunately extended the arms out for a push. Great save by Paradise.
And what's the official going to call here?
Seemed like it might be an in the crease violation. No, they're going to award the ball back to Souhegan, so perhaps Hannah may have stepped out of the crease to make the save and then went back in. Not quite clear on what that call was.
Well, the good news is that Paradise made the save.
Absolutely. Stick side, she was able to extend up high and stuff it up high, so she was able to fend off that free position 8-meter.
So now behind the net, it's Ben. Pass up high to Rowe. Still with it, moving across. Feet inside, hits the ground, ball is loose. Bouncing around, and we have a whistle, and we're going to have possession maintained by the Sabres.
Yes, a loose ball there. There was quite a scramble, and this is an indirect here, and Souhegan was able to get that ball back. It looked like it might have been an upward check during that loose ball.
So Rowe, pass across to Clark. Behind the net now to Ben. Back up to O'Neill. Behind to Hawk. Looking for a centering lane. Instead gets it over to Ben. Ben comes up front. Pass across. It's a loose ball. Picked up again by the Sabres by Ben. She's been a hustler out there. Still with it. Loses it momentarily, and now Bedford comes up with it and goes the other way.
Great job by Zoe Misho staying with that play. She rounded about the outside, missed the first check, stayed with it, finally got stick-on-stick check and got the ball loose.
The pass up to Julian Bell. Still with it, and a shot and
There
a
you
goal.
go.
Julian Bell takes it in. She finishes the job.
Harry, she said, nobody's going to stop me. I'm going to go straight to the goal. She cashes low right on a bouncer. Julian Bell's first goal of the game to make it 3-1.
And a great pass by Sydney Lynch. It happened too early to be credited as an assist, but Lynch had defenders all over her, was still able to get the ball up to Bell, who made a great catch and then brought it all the way in for the goal.
Yeah, absolutely. She was able to motor from about the 40-yard line out, and made a nice play. Faked high a little bit on the top left side and went back down to the low right. Was able to beat Alex Labrosse to make it 3-1.
So 18-11 now remaining in the first half with a 3-1 lead for the Bulldogs. And a face-off, 10 versus 10. Lynch and Hawks facing off here. The official sets the ball up, blows the whistle, and we begin. Up in the air. It bounces to Mccarran, who comes up with it. I do believe Bedford has won all the face-offs with the exception of the one that rolled out of bounds. I don't know if that technically is a win for Souhegan.
Yeah, we spoke about it at the top of the game here, that the performance at the draw is really going to help determine the offensive flow of the game here, and you're absolutely right. With the exception of the one that went out of bounds, Bedford has controlled.
Now Hannah
Nice job.
McCarthy gets the pass from Chamberlain Bell and tucks it away in the lower corner, making it 4-1. Third goal for McCarthy.
Yeah, they went back to that pick play on the goalie's top left. So Chamberlain Bell drives, tries to gather her defense and attract the attention of the rest of the defenders while the pick is going on at the goalie's top left. So Hannah McCarthy got free, was able to squeeze it and finish. So Hannah McCarthy's third on the day, makes it 4-1. She's already got a hat trick.
And she just keeps piling on that record. It's going to make it hard to break. We thought it was a tough record when Drew Shapiro had it.
And Drew might tell you records are made to be broken, right, Harry?
Absolutely. And the face-off, ball in the air and a whistle here. We'll see what the officials say. Maybe not a clean face-off. They're going to award it to Lynch of Bedford. So once again, Bulldogs with possession after a goal.
Looked like one of the Souhegan midfielders might have crossed the circle there before the actual draw took place. Violation there, illegal procedure, and Bedford is awarded the ball. So we see this frequently, Harry. The Bedford offense will settle. They'll work the perimeter a little bit, and then they'll move into their set with two attackers flowing behind. You'll see Chamberlain Bell right now bringing it back. Looking for a cutter, and Sydney Lynch, got stoned on the doorstep. So nice save by Labrosse.
Ball was bouncing around dangerously in the crease. Of course, the Bedford players couldn't play it while it was inside that circle.
Yeah, they're going to award possession to the Souhegan goalie, Alex Labrosse, and she'll outlet it to the near side. And they get back into transition.
Nativa Stein.
Stein up to Hannah Rowe.
Taylor Clark pulls up, being watched. Might have drawn a foul there from Zoe Misho.
Called a push there, and they keep possession.
So Rowe over to Woodford behind the net is number 10, Hawks.
Great job by Grace Ann Rooney there on that goal line extended defense. Good cut
pass.
though.
Yeah.
Good cut by O'Neill. She's able to finish low. Caught Hannah Paradise a little off guard there. Nice play.
So O'Neill out the goal. The assist coming from Taylor Clark at 16:02. That cuts the lead now to 4-2 for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Gallinson O'Neill made a nice cut there. Had the stick in her left hand as she was coming from the goalie's top left, so it made her an easier way to finish on that play. And finish she did on the low bouncer. Looked like she went 5-hole on Hannah Paradise.
So Lynch versus Taylor Clark on the faceoff, and Souhegan comes up with it this time. Now pass in to number 4, Ben. She decides to pull up and not take the shot. Drops it back and allows the Sabres to reset, slowing things down momentarily. Hawk.
That was an interesting decision there, Harry. She might have had a shot there, but you know, Souhegan may be playing for either better shots or longer possessions there. It looked like she could have taken that shot there with her right hand.
Now O'Neill over to Savannah Ben. Pass up to Hawks. Or Taylor Clark, forgive me. Clark flips it over to Rowe. Now she moves, bounces off the Bedford defenders behind the net to Woodford. Woodford tries to come across. Blocked. Her route is blocked right there by the Bulldogs. Savannah Ben now. Trying to find a lane for a pass in front. Gets it up to Rowe at about the 15-yard line. Now inside the Hawks, and she couldn't maintain control, but she draws a foul and may have an 8-meter. She does.
Looks like that's Taylor Clark, Harry, who earned that. Cutting through with her right hand. Check up high, close to the bubble. She's going to go on an 8-meter and sail it high. But Souhegan's there to back it up behind the cage.
Somebody from Bedford, it was either Mccarran or Misho, got a stick on her stick, on Taylor's stick.
Wow, very nice spin move by Hannah Rowe there. Stepped to her right, rolled back left, kept it in her right hand and finished low. Nice play by Hannah Rowe.
That cuts the lead to 4-3 for Bedford.
Goal by number 24, Hannah Rowe.
Hannah Rowe on the goal, no assist awarded. 14:16 to go here in the half. Just as I was commending the defensive play of the Bulldogs on that 8-meter play, Rowe turns around and puts it in the net.
They always try to make you look bad, right, Harry?
Hard to keep up with the play sometimes. Now midfield with the face-off. Clark now. And possession goes to Bedford. Anna McCarthy bringing it into the Sabre zone, flips it over to Riley Chu. Chu gets away from a defender who's leaving the field.
Yeah, Sydney Lynch was taking those draws early on. They brought Hannah McCarthy with a little bit more height, a little more reach to take that draw, and pretty much the same result. Bedford gets possession.
Here's Lynch, defended by O'Neill. Now spins around.
Pick and roll.
Drops it to Hannah McCarthy. Her shot gets blocked.
Great hustle by Julian Bell to pick up that ground ball.
So Bedford maintains possession. Now Bell moving in, pulls up, pass inside, and a shot and a goal. Chamberlain Bell.
Bell to Bell right there.
So sister to sister, Chamberlain Bell from Julianne Bell.
That was a great cut by Chamberlain Bell on the backside. Obviously, Julian was pressing hard from the midfield and drew a lot of attention. Chamberlain was able to sneak in on the backside and finish nicely.
When you're doing that, you've got a lot of information to process. Not only are you watching the defenders, you're also trying to see where your teammates are and who might get open. So good vision there, good, I guess, really heads-up play.
Yeah, absolutely.
By Julian Bell to find her sister open in front of the net.
In lacrosse, as in many other sports, that the whole concept of drawing a defender and dumping to who's open is obviously rewarded many times with the score, whether it's a basket or a goal. And in that case, you saw the same thing. Julian was able to draw a defender, draw extra attention, and find Chamberlain cutting backside.
And Hannah McCarthy using that height, picking up the possession right there. Another face-off win for the Bulldogs. Mccarran flips it over to Bell. Over to Chamberlain Bell. Chamberlain Bell down the sideline, going behind extended goal. Now back up front, puts her back to the defender, tries to evade the defender there, number 12, Eva Stein. And now here comes number 10. That's Lynch, who got hit in the head.
Yeah, that's straight out foot speed, putting a lot of pressure on the defense. Sydney Lynch showing her wheels there. And was able to draw the foul. She gets the center hash, 8-meter shot.
And a shot off the ground and a save by LaBrosse.
Nice save by LaBrosse on that bouncer. It's a tough one. Stick side, but still, it's tough to read that bounce.
Bedford gets the loose ball. Now Bell to her sister. That shot is saved by LaBrosse.
She tried to return the favor. Chamberlain Bell saw Julian Bell. A little physical on the ground ball. She tried to box out, but she's going to get called for a push by Chamberlain Bell. So it goes to Souhegan, and Gallinson O'Neill will pick it up, try to get through the midfield.
She got hit in the face there, so she'll get a free start here.
So Harry, they're really trying to help the flow of the game here. So many of these minor fouls in the midfield are being started by the players. When they're ready to go and they're on the spot of the foul, they're starting when they're ready.
And Woodford draws an 8-meter shot here.
She'll stare down Hannah Paradise. Low shot, and Paradise makes a nice save. Rebound in front.
Can't quite control the rebound. It's bouncing around in front, and it looks like Souhegan will maintain possession. They do. Margot Mans with it right now.
So you saw Clara Woodford drop her stick there, but she didn't change planes on the shot. If you drop your stick, you probably want to go high, make it hard on the goalie from low to high, but she maintained that same plane and made it a little bit easier for Hannah Paradise to make the stop.
O'Neill over to Mans along the sideline. Now behind the net. Savannah Ben over to Hawks. Hawks to Clark. Clark trying to evade the defender. Takes a hit, no whistle.
Great check by Sydney Lynch. Was able to get the trail check there.
Ball out of bounds on Bedford. It'll remain with Souhegan, I believe.
I think they're going to call a push area. I think Bedford's going to. Oh no, I think you're right. No, yeah, I think Bedford's going to keep possession here.
That's Jessica Ryu on the restart. Gets it up to Riley Chu. Riley Chu still carrying it. Bedford on the break here. We'll see if they pull up or take it all the way to the net. Chu still with it. We get a whistle. Is it a delayed call?
Yep, so they had a delayed call there. It looked like there was a shooting space. Riley Chu was in a position to score. The defender on the back side was in between her and the goal, interfering with her opportunity to score. So she's going to be sent behind, and Riley Chu will start the ball again.
She might not take the shot here. She's got too many Sabres around here, and she does. She pulls back.
Yep. And she wasn't quite on the 8-meter fan there, so it's a good choice to pull it out and set up their offense.
So Mccarran over to Bell. To number 23, that's Dermody. Mccarran again. Bell to Bell. Drifting down the side and behind extended goal. She's got room to operate, tries to center it to Riley Chu, can't control it, but the officials are going to award her an 8-meter for her trouble.
She got pushed. She was a second cutter off that high pick to the goalie's top left, got pushed, and now she's got a chance to cash in on a free position.
Still with it, she draws another.
Got fouled again.
This time it'll be at the top of the key.
And she improved her angle, got hit, and now she improves her angle on the 8-meter. So we'll see if Bedford can extend their lead with 8:50 left in the first half. It's 5-3, looking to go up 3.
She's got room to operate here. And we begin. Shot and a save, but backed up by Bedford. Quick reaction by the Sabre defenders to get to her before she get the shot away. Got a stick on her stick.
Yeah, they pressured her into taking a tough shot. Chu went low and unfortunately missed the cage, but Hannah McCarthy was on the backside to back it up, and they'll reapproach the fan.
Now Mccarran pulls up.
And another shooting space violation. So now Mccarran will go for an 8-meter.
Looks like we're getting a little bit of sunlight here, breaking through the clouds. Mccarran on the 8-meter at an angle. Coming in, pulls up, and decides not to take the shot, decides rather to set things up for later. Riley Chu behind X. Trying to move around. Centering pass to Lynch. Ball's lost, gets to Mccarthy. Mccarthy over to Julian. Bell takes a shot that goes wide, but backed up by Bedford. Dermody was right there. They'll maintain possession.
Lynch did a nice job on that GB. Picked it up real quick and looked for a cutter as the defense was scrambling during the ground ball. A lot of heads turn in the wrong direction, so you can often find an offensive player on a good cut for a cash.
Bell gets it up to Lynch. She's moving across.
Wow.
Took a stick, no call.
Looked like the old picket fences from Hoosiers. 4 of the offensive players moved to their right. Lynch moved left. Tried to create some defensive confusion. Oh, wow, great save.
Dermody takes a hit there. She goes down, but it looks like she's okay. She's back up, and now the Sabres come the other way after a good defensive stop.
Alex Labrosse with a great save there. Stick high. Was able to shut it out on the doorstep there, but Souhegan's going to throw the ball away.
Yeah, number 12, Eva Stein, threw it behind Isabel Aiello, and now Bedford comes up with the ball.
Ooh, good cut by Mccarran.
Now Riley Chu decides to pull up, and Bedford resets. Lynch. Over to Bell. Back to Lynch. Mccarran now. Down to Chu, and then to 23 Dermody. They're just kind of working the perimeter here now. Taking their time.
They're going to look for Hannah Paradise in on the post there, so she's working her player, trying to get her stick free. Oh, good cut and a good save.
Mccarran stopped by Labrosse, but we get a whistle.
It was a nice feed into Mccarran. She tried a bounce shot, but Labrosse again makes a nice save low.
But McCarthy winds up drawing the 8-meter.
She does on that ground ball. She had position but got fouled during that ground ball, so McCarthy will look to cash.
And a shot,
Ooh.
Nice save, but Bedford backs it up. They'll maintain possession. Labrosse with another big stop there on McCarthy. Pass inside.
Nice save again.
To Mccarran, right. Labrosse gets the stick on it. Another big stop.
We talked about it the other end when Woodford didn't change planes. Right there, Mccarran did the same thing. She had a stick high there. She went high to high, and Labrosse was equal to the task and made a great save.
So Rowe brings it in, decides to pull up. O'Neill now with it. Woodford. Behind X to Ben. Up to Rowe. Long pass across to O'Neill.
You know, Harry, you like to see the offensive players make a little bit of a fake, too. Try to get the goalie off guard, move in one direction or another. Mccarran wasn't able to throw that fake, and as we said, Labrosse made a nice save.
So Rowe double teamed right there. Bounces off, brings it out. Gives herself some room, now pulls in again. She's got 3 Bedford defenders around her and draws a foul.
Yeah, they're going to call a push on Ava Gaudette. Seemed like it was just outside of the 8-meter fan there, so. So Hannah Rowe's going to restart.
And she's got a fan in the stands. We'll see if Rowe can score here. Nope, she pulls up and feeds it inside to number 20, Clark, who scores.
Nice finish by Clark. Avoided a check, got her stick back in shooting position, is able to finish.
And that makes it 5-4. So it'll be Clark on the goal with the assist from Rowe. 3:55 mark of the first half.
Number 20, Taylor Clark.
So first goal in just about 10 minutes there, Harry. It was quiet, back and forth play. Nobody was able to really cash in on any of their opportunities. We've had some good saves on both ends.
Yeah, Labrosse had a couple of big ones.
And it's 5-4. Bedford holds the 1-goal lead with 3:55 left.
So McCarthy on the face-off here against Taylor Clark, who scored the goal. They always take so much time to set these face-offs up. Like, they really want to make sure everything's just perfect.
Yeah, they're trying to set the girls' sticks in equal positions, so they have to be parallel to the ground and equal pressure on them. They don't want any of the people taking the draw to gain an advantage from their stick position alone, so they really put a lot of time in setting those sticks in the right spot.
So Claire Woodford wins the possession there, draws a foul, and now on the restart. Sabres getting into position. This is Taylor Clark. Over to Rowe and to O'Neill. 3:25 to go in the half. 5-4. Bedford's up. Down low to Hawks, Ben, and Clark.
Souhegan's really been patient on their offensive half here, looking for good shots, quality scoring opportunities. And again, they've been able to take advantage of those.
And the Sabres are just working the circle here, counterclockwise around the Bedford net. Ben with it now.
Have some cutters through. They're opening up this side. Going to look for some cutters coming from the back side, and they find one on the doorstep. Hannah Paradise picks up the ground ball.
That pass was intended for Hawks, but Paradise instead picks it up. And are they going to call a foul? They did. So Paradise will have some room to get the ball free. Zoe Misho now. She's got 2 Sabres on her. Now third. Pulls back. Pass up front to Bell. Beautiful pass and catch. Bell now in front of a host of Sabres driving in. Still with it. Shot.
Oh, wow. Great
and
save.
A save. Yes. LaBrosse really doing a fantastic job keeping the Sabres close.
It was a really tough save on LaBrosse's offside.
Ooh, that was a dangerous hit right there. McCarthy getting a stick on the head of Taylor Clark.
Well, that looks like it's Chamberlain Bell getting sent off for that foul. Going back to LaBrosse's save, it was great one-on-one save, offside hips, a tough shot to save, but she did a nice job getting her stick in front of it. Got it back into transition, resulting in this foul by Chamberlain Bell, who's sent off for 2 minutes with the yellow card.
So Taylor Clark on the restart. She passes it up now to O'Neill. O'Neill pulls up, flips it over to Clark. Clark draws a double team, moves laterally, still has 2 Bedford players on her. Now Savannah Ben feeds it to O'Neill, shot and goal.
Nice cut, nice feed, nice finish. Left-handed finish, offside bouncer is going to tie the game.
So with 1:36 to play in the half, that's the first time the game has been even since it was 0-0.
Yeah, I have to compliment the Souhegan Sabres here. They've had a nice patient approach on the offensive end, putting the Bedford defense in a tough position.
And it starts with good goaltending. You know, same as in hockey, a big save by the keeper. Sometimes the team will turn right around and put the puck in the net as well. So, you know, good defense leads to offense.
And in this case, O'Neill awards LaBrosse on that one-on-one that where she was able to stone the Bedford attacker.
So off the face-off, ball in the air, still loose in the circle. And Bedford comes up with it. Lynch, fighting off a check, loses the ball but draws a whistle.
Yeah, check in the sphere of Sydney Lynch, so she'll get the ball back. Now, I keep referring to the sphere, Harry. The sphere refers to a bubble effectively around the offensive player's head. And if the defender's stick goes through that bubble or sphere, it's called. Even if they don't hit the player in the head or if they get the stick in a nice check, they're really looking for control.
Dermody tried to move into the fan for a shot, loses it, got checked just before she shot it. Now we have a whistle.
Yep, Hannah McCarthy picked up the loose ball. Looked like she got fouled, and we'll get an 8-meter.
So McCarthy with 1, 2, 3 goals so far, trying to get her 4th. She's got defenders in front of her, though. I don't know if she'll try the shot here.
Yeah, so it's not a free position 8-meter, although she's going to try to get the advantage anyway.
Lose it momentarily, and now the Sabres come the other way.
Nice check by Gallinson O'Neill. Got the ball on the ground, picked up the GB, and now she's back in transition.
Savannah Ben carrying it in, being chased by Zoe Misho. Pulls up, waits for her teammates to get into position. Clark gets hit by Misho. And Clark will have a start here, a free start. Has the lane for a shot. I don't know if she'll take it here, though. No, she passes it over to O'Neill. O'Neill back to Taylor Clark, and she fires high and scores.
Nice quick passing there by the Sabres. Found Taylor Clark right back in the middle, and she finishes high for a 6-5 lead. Souhegan.
O'Neill's going to get the assist there to give the Sabres their first lead of the day with 36 seconds left here in the first. Sabres up 6-5.
Souhegan goal by number 20, Taylor Clark. Assist to number 2, O'Neill Gallinson.
And that's the third goal in a row for the Sabres. Starting to put something together here, putting some pressure on the Bulldogs here.
Yeah, with just about 4 minutes left, Clark scored from Rowe, and the next two have been the Souhegan Sabres coming back and taking the lead here at the end of the half with 36 seconds left.
Now the official not liking something, making the players reset here. Positioning the ball. Really working it.
So McCarthy moved a little bit early, and they're going to award the ball to Souhegan.
So they get the last possession here of the half, 36 seconds to go here, barring a turnover.
Taylor Clark picks it up and moves it ahead.
Now Savannah Ben gets it over to Taylor Clark. She's got defenders on her. Now over to Woodford. Ball bounces loose. Taylor Clark had it, loses it again. Now, but she draws a foul.
It's going to be a stick in the sphere on that loose ball.
12 seconds left in the half. Now flip over to Rowe. A Rowe to O'Neill, shot and a goal, beats Paradise. Nice combination of passing there. So O'Neill picks up her third goal with an assist from Hannah Rowe. That comes with 6 seconds left in the half, and Souhegan scores their fourth in a row to take a 7-5 lead.
Yeah, 3 of these goals coming in the 2-minute yellow card to Chamberlain Bell. So the Bedford defense has been playing with only 6 defenders at the last 3 goals, and Souhegan's really been able to capitalize on that man advantage. Excuse me, woman advantage.
Off the face-off. Ball's loose. Mccarran picks it up. She's got just enough time to get a shot away. Beats one defender. Rips, oh, she just waited too long to get a shot away, but even so, LaBrosse was able to catch it.
Ooh, we might have a... No, it looked like the referee was coming in quickly at the end there, looking to call a shooting space, but unfortunately, Mccarran didn't have enough time to draw the foul and didn't have enough time to finish. So we'll go to halftime with the Souhegan Sabres up 7-5. They carry a 2-goal lead into the break, and we'll see what adjustments each of the coaches make during this 10-minute break.
Let's see, quick update here on scoring. It was the leading scorer for Bedford, Hannah McCarthy, picking up 3 in the half. And the top scorer for the Sabres, number 2, Gallinson O'Neill.
You know, I think O'Neill has caught a lot of the Bedford defenders off guard. She's a lefty. It always provides an advantage. She's cutting from the top left and catching these balls fed from the low right. And, again, it's opposite from what a lot of the defenders are ready to see. So nice job by O'Neill to take advantage of her left hand.
Other scores for the Sabres, Abigail Hawks with 1. And let's see, who else do we have here? Number 24, that's Hannah Rowe. She picks up 1 as well. Taylor Clark with 2 goals. And let's see, for the Bedford Bulldogs, we have scores from, trying to figure this out here.
Look like three from Hannah McCarthy,
right.
1 from Julian Bell, and 1 from Chamberlain Bell.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
So we've got about 5 minutes before the second half begins. We'll take a break here, and we'll be right back with second half action. I'm Harry Gozlowski, along with Corey Monster-Tiger, bringing you action here from Bedford High Stadium. 7-5, Souhegan in the lead. You're watching Bedford Girls Lacrosse on VCTV 23. And we're back for second half action here. 25 minutes to go. Souhegan up 7-5. Bedford now going right to left.
The lights are on in the stadium here at Bedford High School, and we'll see if the lights turn on for the Bedford offense.
Good start. Julian Bell comes up with it, but now turns it right over to Isabel Aiello. And now the Sabres come the other way. Eva Stein, she's got 2 Bedford players on her. Flips it back to LaBrosse, who can't control it. And taken away by Riley Chu. Tried to center it, hits the back of the net, picks up her own loose ball, and now settles down the Bedford offense here. Kind of a wild start to this second half.
It was a golden opportunity to get one quickly out of the gates, but Chu was looking for her teammates in front and put it into the back of the net. Fortunately, that ball came back out of the crease, and she was able to pick up the ground ball.
Chamberlain Bell with a shot and a centering pass to number 4, Mccarran. That's a goal, cutting the lead now to 7-6. Chamberlain Bell picking up the assist.
Chamberlain Bell making amends for her yellow card there at the end of the first half and gets an assist right out of the gates less than a minute into the second half. So they draw within 1 of Souhegan. It was a really nice cut by Mccarran. She came from the goalie's top left, was able to catch it right-handed and finish low left.
Now the face-off once again.
That's going to be a redraw. That ball needs to go up at least above shoulder level.
Yeah, that was a misfire for sure.
For the play to continue, so the ref will reset the sticks for the draw, and we'll do it again.
Sydney Lynch is back on the draw for the Bulldogs. Another misfire, and they're going to do it again. Or no, they're going to give, what are they going to do here? Award possession?
They'll likely do another redraw.
Okay. Got to get it just right.
So you'll see the Souhegan midfielder off to the right here. She's going to start her feet moving and try to get an advantage coming in on this draw to get that loose ball.
Now this one's up in the air, hits the ground, and possession will be awarded to Bedford.
It was an empty check there. You're not allowed to check the player's stick if the ball is not quite in there yet. So they call it an empty, and Bedford wins possession.
So Lynch carrying it into play, now pulls up, leaves it for Mccarran, over to Julian Bell. Bell decides to pull up and drift over to her right. Down to Chamberlain Bell. Centering pass and a shot. That went wide, but it's backed up by Bedford.
They went back to the well. Same play. Chamberlain Bell to Mccarran, and she couldn't finish this time, but it sure gave him a good opportunity.
So now Dermody, centering pass meant for Lynch. It goes off her stick. The Sabres pick up the loose ball and carry it out. Now they lose it. O'Neill drops it on the ground. Dermody's able to pick it up.
Great hustle by Mccarran and Dermody.
Oh, but a pass over the head of Riley Chu, and that's the turnover for the Bulldogs.
They've done a good job of redefending here. They call it a ride or a redefend, where they turn the ball over, but they hustle like anything to try to get that ball back.
Now Taylor Clark bringing it out for the Sabres. Down the sideline. Pass up to Bane. We've been corrected on her pronunciation. Savannah Bane. Now to O'Neill. Now behind the net to Hawks over to Bane behind X. Pass up to Woodford. Clark, O'Neill now. Over to Rowe. Pass across to number 22, that's Margot Mans. Hawks, Bane, Woodford, Rowe, and O'Neill.
And again, Souhegan's taking a really measured approach to their offensive possession here. Settling the ball, looking for opportunities, and it looks like they're just kind of working around the outside, killing some time.
At some point, you'd think a Bedford defender would try to interrupt that circular pattern.
It depends on how aggressive coach wants to get.
Ball's loose on the ground. And a whistle. We'll see what happens to possession. Savannah Bane for Souhegan will maintain control. Now on the restart, avoids a check by number 34, Misho. Now Rowe. Long pass across to Clark. Clark looking for a lane, being defended there by Mccarran.
It was good communication on the Bedford defense. There were 3 defenders there. Got mixed up along with the pick there, but they were able to sort out who was going to be where and defend that pick play nicely.
Now Hawks behind net. Over to Bane. Centering pass and shot by O'Neill and a goal.
And O'Neill cutting in with that left hand again. They were able to pick some Bedford defenders up high. Goalies high left. O'Neill came off with that left hand and was able to bury backside.
That goal puts the Souhegan Sabres up by 2, 8-6. And that's the 4th goal of the day for Gallinson O'Neill. .42 to go here in regulation. It'll be Lynch versus Taylor Clark in the center circle. Loose ball, and it's won by Souhegan. Rowe gets it up. Now Bane with it. Waits for her teammates to join the rush. And delayed call there. Number 15, Woodford, taking a hit to the head.
That's how he can press the action there. The Bedford midfielders were a little slow getting back on defense. The Souhegan team had some advantage numbers-wise, and they pressed and tried to find the advantage, and were able to earn the 8-meter shot here.
Claire Woodford now with the opportunity. We'll see if she takes the shot. Instead, she pulls out, wheels around, thought about centering it, thought better, now drops it off to Rowe. Rowe against Lynch, takes a shot. And
good save by Paradise.
Paradise is able to just change the direction just enough, and Bedford picks up the loose ball and comes the other way.
Paradise was able to drop quickly and save that bounce shot to preserve the 2-goal deficit.
Ava Gaudette sends it up the field. Over to Dermody along the sideline, slows things down for the Bulldogs. Chamberlain Bell to Lynch, over to Julian Bell. Now to Mccarran. Chu, Mccarran, and Bell. Sister Chamberlain with it, drops it momentarily, picks up the loose ball, sends it back to Julian. Just working the perimeter here. Bell drifting toward extended goal. Now centering pass to Hannah McCarthy and scores, adding the way down. What are they going to call here? They're going to award her the goal?
Yeah, so she got pushed. There was a delayed foul. The ball went in. We'll see what they call. Nope, they're going to give her the 8-meter.
That seems a bit unfair.
Yeah, you know, that's one of the frustrations I've seen over the last several years in coaching girls lacrosse is that even though that flag goes up, they call the foul a split second before the offensive player scores the goal. They don't count the goal. They award the free position.
So there's no continuation like there is in hockey.
Correct. Now at the college level, they do it a little bit differently. They do have that extended possession on a delayed penalty, giving the offensive players an opportunity to score. But Hannah Mccarthy scores anyway. Great job, came in, gave a little fake, and was able to finish high right for her 4th on the day.
And that comes in at the 18:43 mark.
Bedford goal by number 13, Hannah McCarthy.
Off the 8-meter, makes it 7-8. Souhegan still up by 1 with 18:43 to play.
Yeah, Hannah does a really nice job on those free position shots. Takes 3 or 4 steps in towards the goalie and gives that fake I was talking about earlier. Gets the goalie moving one way or another, gets him off balance, and usually has a really high percentage of finishing on those 8 meters.
And that was one that came at a pretty sharp angle too, which has got to make it a little more difficult.
It sure does, and sometimes you'll see the players go to their left hand as they're on the goalie's top left. It gives them a better angle to score. But again, McCarthy was able to shift the goalie out of the way and get back to her right, finishing near side.
Now we got Chamberlain Bell in the center circle with Taylor Clark for Souhegan on this face-off.
Not quite clear what the delay was here. So you're seeing Souhegan line up on this draw, a little bit of a defensive mentality here. They've taken one of their attackers and put them in the defensive end. So one of the midfielders is going to have to stay over if Bedford wins possession. They could play a game on the defensive half as well where an attacker just steps over. But this is a defensive play by them to try to eliminate any kind of fast break. And Bedford is doing the same thing. You'll see that they have 5 defensive players in their defensive side.
If I can offer one editorial comment here, I would think the girls' game needs to do something about speeding up the face-off, coming up with a different way of restarting the game.
Yeah, it's tough. The boys have the advantage of a solid plane, that is the ground, and it eliminates some of the variability.
I just mean it just takes so long sometimes. They take so much time to set these face-offs up. It really kind of brings the game to a crawl.
Yeah, and you know what? The clock runs, except for the last 2 minutes of a half, the clock runs during that adjustment at the draw. So it can be a long time suck, if you will.
So Bedford with possession here in the Souhegan zone. Chamberlain Bell behind extended goal. Looking for a cutter. Nobody open right now. Souhegan with the defense here. Bell gets it to McCarthy.
And she finishes.
And she finishes.
So back to that stack play on the top, goalie's top left. Chamberlain Bell just looks for the cutters coming in and out. Hannah McCarthy's very effective at getting her stick free. As long as Bell can hit it, McCarthy's going to finish.
Assist to number 17, Chamberlain Bell.
So at 17:49, the game's tied up once again. McCarthy with her 5th goal of the game. And the assist from Chamberlain Bell, that's her 3rd assist of the game.
We'll reset it like we haven't played a single minute. 17:50 left, and we're back to even.
It's a new game.
Yeah, Harry, we've seen that stack play before. They run the either 3 or 4 players to the goalie's top left. They're all cutting with their right hand, trying to get some picks and overall confusion on the defensive side. And Chamberlain Bell sits back there and is able to pick off the cutters and many times take advantage. So it looks like Sydney Lynch is going to change jerseys here. Maybe there's some blood on her jersey. So that's going to be confusing.
42. Okay, she's wearing 42. Let's update our numbers here. Sydney Lynch, the new 42. Oh, 43.
That's why I brought the binoculars.
Yes, thank you, Bill. Bill brought the binoculars. Could have really used them against Portsmouth. Those dark jerseys were murder.
So Harry's referring to Monday afternoon where the visiting Portsmouth team had maroon jerseys and black numbers. It was really tough to see who was who, what number was what number. Nice control by Chamberlain Bell here on the draw.
And the pass up to Mccarran now. Charging into the Souhegan zone, gets by one defender, now pulls up. Down low to Dermody. Dermody pulls away, slows down.
And that defensive strategy we were just talking about at the draw really paid off for them there. Mccarran was free in the midfield in transition. Oh, great save by Lacrosse.
Yeah, that was a pass from Bell over to sister Julian Bell, and Lacrosse was able to get her stick on that. So another big save. Lacrosse, I think, has been a big difference maker in this game for the Sabres.
Certainly. There were at least 3 or 4 one-on-one opportunities.
And now a errant pass is drifting out. It's a race for it. Dermody against number 7, Sarah Geary, and Bedford comes up with possession.
Good hustle by Dermody and Hannah Mccarthy over there to try to keep that ball in the offensive side for Bedford.
16:46 to go here, tied at 8. A chance for Bedford to take the lead here off the Sabres turnover.
And we're going to go back to this high stack with Chamberlain Bell looking for cutters.
Chamberlain Bell centers it.
Finds
Shot
Lynch.
High, yes. That New Jersey is good luck.
Caught it righty, switched to her left, and finishes high to high. And Sydney Lynch breaks the tie.
So Bedford is up 9-8. Sydney Lynch with the goal, and the 4th assist there for Chamberlain Bell.
Yeah, it was a really nice cut. Again, they're looking for those cutters coming off the stack on the top left. You know, whether it's the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, whatever number cutter, whoever's open gets their stick free is going to get that ball from Chamberlain Bell. And this time it was Lynch who was able to cash in.
And that's the first lead for the Bulldogs since allowing the Sabres to tie it with 1:36 to go in the first half.
It's a good run to start this second half. It's 4-1 here in the second half as Bedford's able to regain the lead.
And once again, actually the clock is stopped, but still just time is ticking away here, waiting for the perfect face-off. Finally in the air, the ball goes, bouncing loose, still no one with possession, still bouncing around. Finally picked up by Sydney Lynch.
She did a really nice job of angling off the Souhegan defender and got space for herself and picked up the ground ball.
She chips it over to Riley Chu, who makes a nifty cut, now pulls back to set the Bedford offense.
I appreciate your description there. That was a nifty cut. If she drove hard to the cage, she might have had an opportunity there, but Chamberlain Bell's going to look for one now.
Bell now in front of the net. Kind of a different spot for her. Sydney Lynch with the new 43 jersey. She takes a check, is going to draw a foul.
It was effectively the same play. They moved the stack to the top right of the goalie, and Chamberlain Bell came up to the top left, so same orientation. They just moved it 90 degrees to their right, clockwise. And now Sydney Lynch has the free position.
Once they get her the ball. Now she has it. We'll see if she takes the shot here. She's got the crowd around her.
She does.
She scores.
Finishes. And falls pretty hard afterwards. Took a shot at the end there. Goal's going to count and extend the lead to 2. Nice play by Lynch to be able to finish on that 8-meter.
So that is technically an 8-meter, not behind the fan.
Yeah, it looked like she was right on the 8-meter there. She was awarded the hash. And now we're going to have a timeout by Souhegan.
And that's her third goal, by the way, just to let you know that Lynch has scored 3 now.
Yeah, so Souhegan takes this timeout. They're looking to recover, so Bedford has taken a 5-1 approach here in the second half to regain the lead, press it out to a 2-goal advantage.
So Coach Maren Petropoulos for the Sabres trying to settle down her team after going into the half with a 7-5 lead, are now finding themselves behind by 2, 10-8. And what do you think Petropoulos is telling her charges here?
Yeah, she's probably just getting them to refocus on their defensive effort. They made a really tough opportunities for the Bedford Bulldogs in the first half. Lacrosse was coming up with some really key saves and one-on-one opportunities. And Bedford is making a few extra stick fakes here and cashing in on those opportunities here in the start of the second half.
And winning those face-offs, too. That's another big
certainly, the control of the ball at the draw is again, an influencing factor in the overall flow of the game. And Bedford has done a nice job. getting the ball in the air, and the midfielders around the draw have done an excellent job corralling that loose ball.
We're hoping to get a score for you from the BG Nashua South game. My Twitter feed has nothing yet. That is a key game in the standings. That's also the season finale for both the Panthers and the Cardinals. And the outcome of that game is going to affect seeding here. Bedford could go as high. They're presently in third seed. They could get as high as the second seed. And Souhegan here is fighting for a chance for the number 3 seed as well. Currently they're in fourth.
So 15 minutes to go to help determine how those seeds will flush out. Certainly both of these teams are likely to have a home playoff game to start.
And a bye, I assume. I'm not sure how many teams get the bye. I'll have to figure that out. I could do it right now. Well, no. Too much math to do while I'm trying to call the game. But the rule is 70% of the teams. You take whatever number of teams there are in Division I, you multiply it by 70%, and you don't round up. And that is the number of teams that make the playoffs. And then, of course, if it's not 8 or 16, somebody's going to have a bye. So maybe we'll figure that out for you later.
So the referees are awarding Bedford the ball. There was a push after the goal, and therefore the draw was nullified, and Bedford will get possession here because of the dead ball foul. So they'll get into the offensive end with 15 minutes to go and a 2-goal lead.
So Bedford working the perimeter here. Mccarran to Bell. Chamberlain Bell now drifting behind extended goal, her favorite spot. Feed her teammates. Drifts up now. Looking for an outlet, can't find it. Drifts the other way. Behind X. Now
she's going to wrap. There you go.
Scores.
Great play by Bell. You know, they're looking to her for a feeding type role. And she says, no, you know what? I can drive with my right hand. I'll curl around, get an angle, and I'll finish low. So Chamberlain Bell with a nice individual effort there.
That's her second goal of the game. Unassisted.
You know, we saw her feed the last, let's see, 3 out of the last 5 goals. And it looked like the defender might have been expecting her to do the same on this opportunity, but she came around the back right, got high enough, and was able to finish low right.
And the Bulldogs now have pushed the lead to 3, their biggest margin of lead in this game.
And they've dominated possession, I have to say. So after O'Neill's goal with 20:42 left, they really haven't seen the ball down their offensive end.
Yeah, 6-1 advantage scoring in the second half. And once again, possession. Sydney Lynch picks up the loose ball, gets it over to Chamberlain Bell, and Bedford's back in the driver's seat again with possession. Dermody to Lynch. Chamberlain Bell, again working that sideline. And now it looks like they're on the move. Chamberlain Bell drifting down toward the extended goal line. Drifting behind the goal. She's got Taylor Clark on her defensively. Now centering pass, shot and a goal.
Back to that stack. I think that was Lynch. That was back to that stack in the goalie's top left, and Lynch made a nice cut. Chamberlain Bell found her again, and they pushed it to a 4-goal lead, 12-8 with 14 minutes left.
Bedford goal by number 43, Sydney Lynch. Assist to number 17, Chamberlain Bell.
That's Lynch's fifth assist of the game. 4 in this half alone.
Yeah, she's done a nice job picking those cutters off that high stack, and the Bedford offense has done a really good job of confusing the Souhegan defense, making cut after cut, pick after pick, and it's really tough to keep up with those attackers as they're making aggressive moves to the cage. So we go back to the draw, again, where Bedford has dominated, and in this half in particular, and the game overall.
Yeah, the Sabres will have to win a few of these faceoffs in order to change the momentum of this game. Outscored now 7-1 in this half. Off the faceoff, the ball is won by Chamberlain Bell using her height. extending that reach.
Excellent play by Chamberlain Bell. Got it straight up, located the ball, got her stick high, jumped up and got possession.
And she drives behind X now and takes her position. And more or less uncontested. Now finally, Souhegan puts a defender on her. Dermody with it, joining her behind extended goal. Drifting up to the line. Being watched there by Bane. Dermody changes direction, loses the ball, picks it right back up again, but she's gonna draw a foul here and an 8-meter shot.
Tough call by Isabel Aiello. She was playing good defense, extended the arms at just the wrong time though, and we'll get the push call.
So Dermody fakes it and draws yet another 8-meter.
Draws a foul there on a tough check, so Dermody will go back to the 8-meter.
And she'll improve her angle this time. And a little more room to operate here. The shot and a goal.
Nice play. Came in, got the stick back in good shooting position, fired a heater. Nice job by Dermody.
That comes at 12:42, 13-8 lead, 5-goal lead, the biggest of the game for the Bulldogs, and Dermody with her first goal.
So I'm not sure what Coach Hodgson talked about at halftime, but it certainly had an effect as they've come out and rattled off 8 goals in a row to Souhegan's 1, and they've pushed it to a 5-goal lead. You know, it looked like they were going back to that stack play on the offensive end, not this possession, but the several beforehand. They changed it up a little bit here, got the 8-meter free position, and were able to cash in on it.
Now in the center circle, we've got Chamberlain Bell. We'll see if there's a new Souhegan face-off girl trying to get a number. Wait till she turns around.
I think that might be Ava Stein.
You are correct, it is. And Bedford comes up with it again.
And another fine reach by Mccarran. Got her stick high in the air, outdueled the Souhegan defender, and they'll reestablish possession. It really has been quite a dominant performance at the start of the second half here by Bedford.
And Bedford can afford to take some time off the clock here, slowing play down with a 5-goal lead.
They certainly can, but as I've said to you in many games in the past, it's a very fast sport. These runs can happen so quickly, and 5 goals, it sounds like a lot, but in lacrosse it can happen very quickly. These 5 goals can certainly be made up.
Dermody circling around behind extended goal. Now she drives in, takes a
Ooh,
shot, saved by LaBrosse.
Ooh.
And Chamberlain Bell is there to pick up the loose ball, and she draws a foul.
Dermody made a nice dip dodge along goal line extended, kept it in her right hand, but LaBrosse was equal to it. And here's another goal by Mccarran. Great quick stick there. Mccarran made a nice cut through the middle there. Very quick handle from on the goal, or excuse me, on the pass from Chamberlain Bell.
And that's her 5th assist of the half, 6 in the game.
She's really played that role of facilitator from behind the cage, and it's tough for those defenders keeping their head on a swivel. They're trying to keep an eye on both the ball as well as their player. But that constant motion up top is tough to keep track of. Mccarran slipped free with her quickness, was able to make a nice handle and finish.
The game's starting to slip away a bit here for the Sabres. Like you said, it's a game of runs, and Souhegan certainly can go on one and make it a closer game, but they better start soon because things are starting to slip away on them. Now behind 6 goals here with 11:41 to go.
Yeah, in the second half, honestly, we've talked about it. It's been really dominated by Bedford, a 9-1 advantage in the second half.
And now
they finally get possession in the offensive end.
Taylor Clark with it. Gets it over to Woodford, now to O'Neill, who's got 4 goals in this game.
And
centering pass goes behind Taylor Clark, or I'm sorry, Abigail Lynch. And the ball is turned over. Nope, they're going to maintain possession here with the Sabres, with Bane with it. Bane Wheeling up, now pulling back to Woodburn.
So we might see the Souhegan Sabres press a little bit here. You know, they're down 6 goals, 11 minutes left. And they might start to try to press the action here a little bit quicker.
Now Abigail Hawks to Woodford. Woodford wheels around, takes a shot, and scores. So Woodford breaks the Bedford run of goals here. 14-9 with 10:49 to play. An unassisted goal by Claire Woodford.
It looked like there was a miscommunication on the defense. The Bedford player looked like she was expecting help on the backside, and it wasn't there, so Woodford was able to turn the corner and finish low and away. And back to the draw where Bedford has really controlled that middle of the field.
So on the face-off, it was Bell versus Clark, and Souhegan picks it up again, 2 in a row. Woodford heads toward the net, then decides to pull off, but she draws a push from Julian Bell and gets an 8-meter attempt here. Going to have a little bit of company, though. She may not decide to take the shot herself.
It looked like she was just outside of that floating hash, so it's not necessarily the best shooting opportunity for her. She's going to slow it down and get it back out top.
So O'Neill with it. Across to Mans. Woodford up to O'Neill. To Rowe and Clark. Down low to Bane. Hawks back to Bane. Now O'Neill with a centering shot. That bounces wide.
Ooh, but we're going to get a push on the offense here. It looked like an illegal pick up top. Mccarran was trying to stay with O'Neill, and there was an aggressive pick that's going to get called. Oop, and now we have a yellow card.
You think one of the players might have said something to the official?
That could have been what happened there, some unsportsmanlike conduct there, and she's going to be sent off for 2 minutes.
So Taylor Clark leaving the field now on a yellow card.
Yeah, the foul itself didn't look like it was vicious enough to earn a yellow card, so I'm guessing there was something said after the play.
So now here comes Bedford. Mccarran crosses midfield. And has Rowe on her. Pulls up. Gets it to Dermody. Bedford slowing things down. We're under 10 minutes, 9:25 now in the half, or the second half.
So they'll hold a 5-goal lead and a player advantage for the next 2 minutes.
Here's Julian Bell. Flips it to Riley Chu. Back to Julian Bell. Now she makes a move but decides to pull back. Sends it to sister Chamberlain. Chamberlain drifting toward the net, now behind extended goal. Centering pass and a shot by Dermody. That's going to go wide, but looks like Bedford's got it backed up. They'll maintain possession. Riley Chu in the right spot there.
It was a really nice cut by Courtney Dermody. Got it to her right hand, but couldn't get it quite on net.
So Riley Chu brings it in. Sends it up high to Mccarran. Loses it momentarily, picks it up. Now she drives. She might have a lane, takes a shot. That goes wide, but Chu again backing up the play, maintains possession for the Bulldogs. 14-9, Bedford leading. 8:20 to go here in regulation time. As play restarts, Chu with it. Chu flips it over to Chamberlain. Bell comes up.
Great save by LaBrosse.
Oh, did you see that?
Another one. See if she got another one. Oh, they're going to call a charge here. Wow. Surprising call there. On the loose ball, Chamberlain Bell was able to pick it back up, but they're going to call her on a charge. So they felt she was out of control. The defensive player had position, and they're going to award it to Souhegan.
But did you catch the behind-the-back shot by Hannah McCarthy?
Yeah, nice little nifty move there. Lacrosse was up to the task.
Now Bedford pressing the defense here in the Souhegan end, trying to make it a little difficult for the Sabres to get out. Now they finally cross midfield. And a little bit of room to operate here. Long pass for Bane, too far. That's going to be a turnover. Bedford takes over. Kind of a missed opportunity there for the Sabres.
That's a tough look in the transition game. They had the advantage on the backside, but that's a tough pass all the way across the field.
Now Ava Gaudet bringing it out. She's got a host of Sabres around her. Crosses midfield, now pulls back, leaves it for her teammate. Drops it even further back to Jessica Ryu.
Well, that's a tough call for Souhegan right there. Rooney had thrown the ball away. Souhegan made a nice play to get the ball on the ground, and then there was a push after the play, and now some more rough play, and Souhegan's going to get another yellow card.
Yeah, frustration starting to develop here for the Sabres.
That's some displeased fans are making their feelings known.
Yeah, we do have a nice contingent of Sabre fans made the drive up 101 to cheer on their Sabres. Not happy with a few of the calls they've seen here. 6:37 to go. Bedford up 14-9 with possession.
Rooney will start this play and look for one of her open attackers.
And she gets around the defender, Eva Stein. Now pulls up. Mccarran with it. Flips it over to Julian Bell. Back to Mccarran. To Bell. Bell tests her row on the defense. Decides to pull back. Mccarran now with it. Back to Bell.
And Bedford's still a player up here because of that yellow card that we just saw distributed. And they should be able to maintain possession here for quite some time and get some really good opportunities for scoring.
Now Lynch had the ball knocked away. It's loose, still loose, and we get a whistle. It's going to go Souhegan's way. I was going to mention, too, that McCarthy made another interesting shot, kind of a worm burner down low, trying to beat Lacrosse, but that went wide. Bedford had it backed up, but lost possession behind the net. Now here's a turnover. Mccarran getting the stick on the ball. Over to Lynch. Now back to Mccarran. Bedford forcing a turnover now.
Great job on the ride. The Bedford team was really hustling, again, trying to keep that ball on the offensive end. They redefended quite well, got a stick on the ball, and were able to get possession.
So we're coming up on the 5-minute mark. Bedford nursing that 5-goal lead. Time ticking away on the Sabres here. Still down a player on a yellow card. And now Chamberlain Bell comes up, feeds.
So we're going to start to see a little more desperation out of Souhegan. They're extending their defense out a little bit more, playing more aggressively, despite being down a man, or down a player.
Now we get a whistle. I guess a timeout to I guess a timeout by Bedford.
Bedford's going to take a timeout. They had possession, so all the players will drop their sticks on the field. They'll have to resume their positions when they come back out, their exact location on the field. So that's why you see the sticks all over the place. And
one of the Souhegan players took the advantage to tie her shoe.
Okay.
My guess is the officials don't let you fix equipment during the game without a timeout.
Possibly. This one looks like it's more of a strategic timeout, so Bedford's going to have the opportunity to chat about the last 4.5 minutes here. They have a 5-goal lead, and save for the 3 goals that Souhegan scored during their man-up opportunity, the defense has done a really nice job. And again, this second half, Bedford has come out quite strong and scored 8 goals to 9.
Actually, I think it's 9 goals.
They scored 8 to the Souhegan's 1 and then tacked on another one. So, yeah, so it's a 9-2 advantage in the second half. So the Souhegan coach, Coach Petropoulos, is probably talking about extending their defense. They're going to need to go out and pressure these Bedford attackers, try to get the ball on the ground. And again, it's only 5 goals, so that can be made up quickly. It'll be a challenge, but it is possible.
Well, the Bulldogs are going to do what they can to squeeze out as much time of possession here on this this drive.
Yeah, run the old armadillo play. They'll put it right in front of their chest and run to the corner, but I don't think we'll see that.
Bit of a kind of a prevent offense.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, similar to a 4 corners, what you would see in basketball, where the players are really going to try to spread the field out, kill the ball, and really maintain that possession. We're seeing a couple of umbrellas coming up here, and it looks like the rain might be coming a little bit harder now.
Big game coming up for the Bedford boys tomorrow against the same Sabres down in Amherst. A game that could determine whether or not the Bulldogs make the final playoff tournament spot in Division 1. The Timberlane Owls completed their season. The Bulldogs right now are half a game behind. I'm going to need to ask that fan to lower their umbrella so that we can see the field.
You're going to have to lower that umbrella. Our crew can't see.
And Bill takes care of that. Thank you, Bill.
You got to move down.
And play resumes now. Dermody. Now over to Bell. Bell moving the sideline, goes beneath the goal, now back up. Time ticking away, 4:13. Here's Sydney Lynch with a 43 jersey. She had to change jerseys.
Ooh, good save by Lacrosse. Sydney Lynch had Mccarran had a one-on-one, and Lacrosse came up with a big save there.
So mission accomplished there by the Sabres, stopping Bedford in that possession. Now they come back to try to score one of their own. Here's Rowe, brings it all the way into the fan, then pulls back, leaves it for O'Neill. Now a centering pass for Bane, and she scores. Nice feed there. 2-4.
That was a really good cut by Bane. Came to her right hand, was able to shed her defender and finish offside.
Assistant number 2, O'Neill Gallatin.
So O'Neill Gallatin with the assist there, and Bane, Savannah Bane with the goal. That makes it a 4-goal game, 14-10 with 3:42. And that is the first goal in about the last 7 minutes. We had a lot of scoring until about the 10:49 mark, and now we've slowed down considerably. So now a 4-goal disadvantage is a little more makeable. A lot's going to depend on this face-off here. If the Sabres are able to come up with the loose ball here, they might have a chance. If Bedford picks it up, then no doubt they'll take their time. So off the face-off, too low. But they're going to award possession to Souhegan.
Looked like a stick got a little bit out of control there. So Souhegan will pick this up.
Well, Taylor Clark. Sabres trying to knock the lead down to 3. Clark pulls up, leaves it for Woodford.
3.5 to go.
Margot Mans. Now Abigail Hawks, she passes it up. Over to Rowe. Rowe had a chance, decides not to shoot it, leaves it for Bane. Bane behind X. Looking for a cutter. Over to number 20, that was Taylor Clark, and she scores.
Tough play there. Hannah Paradise got a piece of that, but it still slips in low left.
So you're going to need to handle the play-by-play here while I step in for Bill on the camera. But now we've got a 3-goal game with 3:01 to play.
Really nice cut by Clark there to be able to finish that, bring it into a 3-goal lead with 3 minutes left. And so we go back to the draw here. Hannah McCarthy's going to step into the circle with Lynch and Mccarran around the outside. We have some unruly fans here trying to block our view. And Mccarran does a nice job of getting possession. And they'll settle it here in the offensive end. So 2:50 to go. Bedford holds a 3-goal advantage. And they're going to try to really take the air out of the ball here. So Chamberlain Bell will bring it to X. Go back to her left hand and look for cutters. She comes around and makes a nice finish, top side. Came to her left hand, her strong hand, crept around, got enough of an angle, and she'll score an unassisted goal to push it back to a 4-goal lead.
That was a timely goal indeed. And what do we have here? The officials having a little conference.
So 2:30 left in the game. 15-11 Bedford. And we'll go back to the face-off, the draw. So now it becomes a challenge. That 3-goal lead was possible. Certainly 4 goals is possible, but certainly a lot harder.
A lot's going to depend on this face-off possession here.
And McCarthy's back on the draw again with Lynch and Mccarran around the outside.
I believe that's Taylor Clark on the face-off for Souhegan.
She'll have O'Neill
in the air. Mccarran had a stick on him momentarily. It's still loose, and they're going to call possession Bedford.
Okay, it might have been a push during that ground ball. And it gets up to Bell, and again, they'll settle and set up their offense.
And Lynch in her 43 jersey today. She made the change of number at the halftime from her normal number 10. Chamberlain Bell drifting behind X. She's got a defender on her. Little push there by Rowe, and it looks like it's going to get called.
Yeah, so the defender went through the crease there, and she's going to get called for that. She's not allowed to go through her own crease. There's making adjustments on that rule at the collegiate level where the defenders can go through
and
their
a
own
centering
crease.
Pass there for Riley Chu, I believe. Her shot goes over the net, but Bedford backs it up. Dermody was in perfect position to maintain possession. 1:43 to go. Bedford with a 4-goal lead, 15-11. And here's Dermody with a shot high.
Great
and a
save.
save by LaBrosse. Made a lot of good saves in this game, keeping the Sabres in it. But her shot is deflected. Still, it goes to the Sabres player, able to maintain possession. Here's O'Neill. She's got 4 goals today. Leaves it there. Shot and a goal. Let's see, that's number...
That's going to be wiped out, though. So she's going to earn a shooting space, an 8-meter free position shot on a shooting space. Looks
Woodford.
like
Woodford.
Zoe Misho.
So Woodford, the goal is not counted, but she gets a chance here on an 8-meter coming in. Takes a high shot. That goes over the net, backed up by Souhegan. They'll maintain possession, but they only have 1:12 to score 4 goals. So off the restart, Abigail Hawks feeding it up to Woodford. Woodford has it again, picks up the loose ball and scores.
It's a really tough play there by Woodford. She made a great play on the ground ball. Didn't even pick it all the way up. She just moved her stick to the side and was able to avoid Hannah Paradise, who was coming out to try to cut down the angle.
So back to a 3-goal advantage for Bedford with 1:04 to go. Souhegan still fighting to stay in this game.
.104 left, 3 goals. Advantage for Bedford Bulldogs. And if they gain possession, they'll probably try to really take their time. just keep possession. Probably won't even try to approach the goal, because at this point the possession is more valuable.
So the official taking the time to set up the face-off any minute. Ball's in the air and drifts toward the Bedford offensive side, and it's picked up by Mccarran. And now Bedford in control here with under a minute to play, 55 seconds. Lynch staying far away from the Souhegan defenders. Dermody now on the far sideline, just trying to get away from anybody who could take the ball away from her. Dermody draws contact, will maintain possession, or will they?
Looked like she was warding off, so pushing off the defender with a free hand, so Souhegan's be able to get the turnover there. Chamberlain Bell tries to slow her down, and she'll get called as well.
Well, the Sabres only have 31 seconds to score 3 goals here, so we'll see what happens.
It looks like
down
Dermody.
goes.
Yeah, Dermody's going to get a foul as well.
That was number 3, Aiello. Isabel Aiello hitting the turf. Gets back up with 28.2 to go. She drops it back. Sends it across now to number 1. That's Sierra Kimball. I haven't called her number all day. Now here's Rowe trying to drive her way to the net. Rowe still with it. Peels off momentarily. And what do we have here?
They're going to call a shooting space. That was a really close call. It looked like she was actually outside of the 8-meter, but they draw the call nonetheless on Ava Gaudette. And Hannah Rowe's going to have a free position at center hash.
With plenty of room here, too. So with just 14.7 seconds to go and a 3-goal deficit, we'll see what the Sabres can do here. Rowe waiting for the officials to restart the game. Takes a shot and scores. Beats Paradise down low.
That was a really tough shot. She really picked that corner nicely. So brings it back to a 15-13 game, but too little time left. There's only 13 seconds left.
So they can make it close, but really tough to win it here with just 13 ticks left on the clock. Got Hannah Mccarthy facing off against Taylor Clark.
Now watch a little subtle thing here at the draw here. So when Hannah Mccarthy gets ready to take the draw, you'll see her head turn towards the official. She can try to get a little bit of an advantage because sometimes those officials start moving their arm before they blow the whistle. That little split second sometimes gives the person taking the draw a bit of an advantage. Watch her head here. So it's set. The referee's going to come out. Now watch, she looks at the referee.
And the ball bounces in the Bedford's direction, and they win possession here, and they just have to waste 8 seconds to win.
So Bedford's going to come out victorious here. 2-goal win over the Souhegan Sabres. They're going to improve to 15-1 on the season. And a nice victory for them as they head into the playoffs. Another strong performance by Hannah Mccarthy, but she also got a lot of scoring help by Sydney Lynch. And Hannah Mccarran scored several as well. And I have to say that Chamberlain Bell did an excellent job distributing the ball from behind. She was really a playmaker back there, drawing a lot of attention and finding the open cutters throughout the game.
Picked up 3 goals, and I believe she had 6 assists, so she had a huge game.
Very impressive performance by her. 9 total points, and she really helped the Bedford Bulldogs pull away in the second half.
Well, depending on what happens down in Nashua between BG and Nashua South, the Bulldogs have at least clinched a number 3 seed. Could be as high as number 2 if South can upset the Cardinals down in Stellos Stadium right now. Like I said, we were hoping to get a game score over Twitter. Haven't seen anything yet. But again, hard-fought win here against a solid Souhegan team, one of the top 4 teams in Division 1.
And this could be a matchup that we see again in the playoffs as each team gets through the first rounds, and they could perhaps see each other in the second round of the playoffs. We'll see what happens with the draw and who gets what position throughout the seeding and playoffs.
I've got a boys score for BG and South. It's 2-0 BG boys, nothing on the girls. So we'll just have to wait until we find out what happens there. But Corey, thanks again for joining us on this broadcast. We expect to be bringing you playoff action as well. Pretty confident that the girls have a bye, so it'll probably be Saturday before the next game is. We'll let you know if we've got coverage on that. So again, thanks for tuning in. Corey Munster Tiger on color. I'm Harry Kozlowski. Bill Jennings on camera. The final, 15-13, Bulldogs over Sabres. You have been watching Bedford Girls Lacrosse on BCTV 23.